So let's talk about a few things. Guys, I'm sorry that I missed yesterday's upload. I know I've been a bit inconsistent recently. That's mostly had to do with just changing locations, but now I'm back as ever. I'm gonna post two videos, one for each of the days, one for today, one for yesterday that I missed, and I want to say I'm sorry. But what I want to talk about today is the Eastern Conference. The reason why I want to talk about the Eastern Conference is because I want to talk about who is the team who's going to come out of the East. Since it's the middle of the season, we're about 39 to 40 games in, 41 for some teams. It's been very apparent that the Eastern Conference is a very packed conference. I know a lot of people don't like to say that a lot of the people there are fake, that a lot of people there won't win. But if we were really looking at the conference as a whole, it's been very strong, especially in the past, year, in this season. So I was looking at it and I was like, look, Celtics and Bucks are obviously the favorites. But really, if we're being honest, there's some things which could be told. First, I want to say shout out to the Celtics. They haven't lost a game at home this year. A single game. They've played 19 and 119 with a buzzer beating them the other day. And they've only lost 9 away games out of the 20 which they've played. They're amazing. This team is truly the one team that looks like it's going to be genuinely scary. To really win quite a few rings if they could just keep this up for an extended period of time. Honestly, what I wanted to say more than anything was that with the Celtics, I think that they're the favorites. But I feel like there's a lot of things which lead me to believe otherwise. Like first, the Bucks beat them the other day by 30. By the third quarter, that match was over. Giannis, Dame, Jason Tatum, they all played. And the Bucks absolutely smoked the Celtics. So if they could do that, especially, with the fact that Milwaukee in their most recent games has really turned the switch on, what could we say about that maybe in the playoffs where the Bucks could beat the Celtics? Apart from that, none of those other two teams have the MVP of the league right now, or at least the favorite, Joel Embiid. Honestly, Joel Embiid has been playing like the superstar, like the best player in the game, honestly. And I do believe that if he could keep this up, then he's going to be scary. In the playoffs, if he could just keep the consistency up. Then, when we keep going, we see a few teams which are very scary. We see the Pacers. Now, a lot of people may say, nah, the Pacers are a regular season team. Their offense doesn't work in the playoffs. It's too fast. It's too much. But, they've beat Milwaukee 4 times already this season. And what I mean by that is that in the regular season, the Indiana Pacers have absolutely dealt with a team that always plays like they're in the playoffs. And in my opinion, when you see that fact, it's more interesting than if the Bucks are the favorites or they're top 2 and they've lost 4 times to the Pacers, then can we really rule them out? Because the Pacers are a great team, but playoff basketball is different. So then apart from those, we're going to have the Miami Heat, obviously, which is the other team that I wanted to talk about. Obviously, I'm a Heat fan, but I do want to say that we are a great team. I know it sounds obvious, but it's and the fact that they went to the finals last year makes it really convincing because honestly, even though they did lose some depth and it has been a lot of turmoil, I do believe that if Miami gets to the playoffs, they're dangerous against any team. It doesn't matter who they're facing or what the circumstances are, they're dangerous. So I feel like if they can get in, then that's going to be great. Right now they're a playing team, but we'll see what happens with the standings. Then you have two other teams which, in my opinion, are on the rise right now. You have the Cleveland Cavaliers, which are a team that have received a lot of flack due to their underperformance this year. People expected Cleveland to be a much better option, for like championship contention in the East, or at least a young team that was about to rise. But they've really, disappointed in every single way. The reason why I say that is because they have completely taken, their play style, the way that they do things, and have changed it. Darius Garland is not as much as a playmaker. Donovan Mitchell's not being as dominant on offense. And in general, I've seen enough to let me know that the Cavaliers, if they keep playing like this, then they're going to be good. They're probably going to be in the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to do anything special. Also, that let's hope the lights are not too bright this year again. Then we have a true team which is on the absolute rise recently. We have the New York Knicks. The Knicks are phenomenal. And I'm saying this after the OG trade where they just completely took their level and upgraded it by like 1,000. I'm sorry, but that OG trade was one of the smartest and best trades that the Knicks could have done. They got exactly the player that they needed for their lineup and were able to add everything positive, defense, shooting, IQ, fit in any roster basically. They were able to fix that. And now we have to really be asking, like, is Jalen Brunson enough to get to a conference finals? I don't think so, but like, we have to be saying, like, Jalen Brunson with this supporting cast, if he just gets if they just get like the two correct teams that are, maybe let's say bad enough. Let's say they get the Cavaliers in the second round and maybe the Magic in the first round, then maybe we could see it, and it would be interesting to have these matchups be set up because now the Knicks are a real threat to actually, maybe even steal a series from a team and have an exciting season. Apart from this, you have a few others. You have, as I said, the Magic and the Heat, the Florida battle. And that one's pretty interesting as the Magic, even though they've dropped in the standings recently, they've been great. And I believe that if it weren't for them actually having to face a few tough teams and lose a couple of harsh games, especially the recent one against Miami where Paolo Banchero missed the game winner. I had missed like 2 game winners. I do believe that they would be more up in the standings. And finally, outside of the picture, but still to be recognized, we do have a few great players. And, we have DeMar DeRozan, we have Mikal Bridges, Trae Young, and I feel like the East this year is going to be great. And I feel like that we could really rely on this matchup to give us great content and great results. So I think that's it for the Eastern Conference. I hope that we get a good playoffs this year, and I hope that at the end of the season we see the best team win. So, yeah, tell me what you think. Tell me about if you think that Giannis is having an MVP season, because I've seen a lot of talk of why Giannis isn't being recognized in the past few days. And that's honestly made me very interested because I've been like, why is Giannis not getting more praise and more love for what he's doing? And finally, let's hope that he could get considered Because even though I do think Joel is still the MVP, I did want to say that because it had to do with the East. So yeah, have a good one.